Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 276. And today is our lesson number 30. Page number 276, question number 23. If you turn to page number 276, you will see it is the penultimate problem on the page. It is the penultimate problem on the page. If you're not sure what that means, it's just a very fancy way of saying it is the second to the last problem. Problem number 23 is not the last problem on the page, it is second to the last, which is what penultimate means. If you're interested in learning this word, along with some other interesting word to improve your vocabulary for the GMAT or GRE or SAT, whatever it is that you're preparing for, having a good vocabulary is a must. If you're interested in learning this word, just watch this video, just type in my name Keshwani and then put in vocabulary day 11, and you will learn this word along with some other interesting word, as I said, hopefully. Let's take a look at the problem here. It says, in Mr. Smith's class, what is the ratio of number of boys to the number of girls? They're simply looking for the ratio of boys to girls, boys over girls. In the first statement they tell us that there are 3 times as many boys as girls. There are 3 times as many girls. What the hell? There are 3 times as many girls as boys. This is wrong. I misread it. It doesn't really matter, because in these questions they're not asking us to actually solve anything. They're just asking us if we have enough information to be able to answer the questions. So if you reverse the thing, it's not going to... In the multiple choice questions you have to be careful, because if if the ratio of boys to girls is 3/4, invariably you're going to see another answer choice which is going to say 4/3. So there you have to be careful as to what is being asked. Here it doesn't really matter because we don't actually have to solve it. So had I continued with this thing, we wouldn't have gotten the wrong answer. We still would have arrived at the same conclusion. Whether we would have still arrived at the same conclusion, which is either we have enough information to answer the question or we don't have enough information, one or the other, because we're not solving it. But anyway, there are 3 times as many girls as boys. And of course, that's enough to figure out the ratio, because that is the ratio. They're telling you what the ratio is. The number of girls is 3 times the number of boys. Number of girls is 3 times the number of boys, so boys over girls, of course we can figure out that ratio. Number of girls is 3 times the number of boys. So here, instead of G, we can put down 3 times B, and the B cancels out, and we end up with 1/3. The ratios of boys to girls is 1/3. For every boy we have 3 girls, which is exactly what it says. There are 3 times as many girls. The ratio is 1:3. For every 1 boy in the class, we have 3 girls. That's it. In other words, if we were to pick 4 students at random in this classroom, chances are that out of that group of 4 students, one of them is a girl. One of them is going to be a boy, 3 girls. So first statement does the job. A, D, B, C, E. Since the first statement does the job, correct answer choice, whatever it is, cannot be B, C, or E. It's got to be either A or D. Let's look at second statement. If the second statement also works, the answer will be D. Second statement says number of boys is 1/4 of the total. Number of boys are 1/4 of the total. This is also enough by itself. You see this word that I showed you here just now here, where we actually figured out the ratio, it is not something that you will do in the exam. This is not something you will actually do in an exam. You just have to be quick enough to realize that this is enough information to answer the question, to figure out this ratio. And that should take no more than 10 seconds. I'm just doing this extra work just for learning purposes, to improve our math skill, for learning purposes, as I said, and no other purpose, not for the exam. Similarly here, this is enough by itself to answer the question. The correct answer is D. Now just to show you, just to satisfy your curiosity as to how we go about it, just as I said, just for learning purposes, we're going to actually do it out. So here it says boys are equals means are equal to 1/4 of the total, which is same as 1/4 of boys plus girls. Now if you multiply both sides by 4, we end up with 4b equals b plus g. If you multiply this both sides of the equation by 4, we end up with 4b equals b plus g. Subtract b from both sides, we end up with 3b equals g. And since we're looking for the ratio of boys to girls, boy over girl, again I don't know if I need to show you the baby step or not in there. Divide both sides by g and divide both sides by 3. So here 3's cancel out and b over g, the ratio, and g's cancel out is same as before, 1/3, same as before, right here. It gives you the same exact information, it's just phrased in a different way. So the correct answer choice is D. Let's do the next one, shall we? Number 24, the very last one on the page. Number 24 is also very straightforward. With the data sufficiency question, it's a funny business. Some questions in data sufficiencies are quite tricky, it requires some thinking. They're actually more fun because they're more challenging. And some are just inane. I am not sure if we ever learned this word in our vocabulary video, I doubt very much. Inane is something that is just jejune. It's not it doesn't have much of a substance. It's just silly. Oh, I don't know why I'm looking under N, it should be under I. I'm looking at my vocabulary list of the word that we covered already, that we learned already. Inane was the word that I just used. As I said, I doubt very much if we covered it. You learn it yourself. Here's another good word. Learn these words yourself. Inane, something jejune. As I said, something jejune, something inane is something that is it doesn't have much substance in it. It's just silly. It's childish. Some questions are just too inane, too jejune, too childish, too silly. For example, the one that we are about to do is very straightforward. It says sequence has 300 terms. I should make a note of learning these words in the future, in our future vocabulary videos, because these are good words to know, as I said. No, jejune is also not learned. I was the next card and after I is J. I was looking under J to see jejune is covered, and of course I shouldn't have had to turn the page over, because I did know that we have not learned the word jejune, because had I covered the word jejune, we would have also learned the word inane, because they are synonyms. Again, for those of you who have watched my vocabulary videos in the past, you know that already, and I'm saying it one more time. I am lousy at spelling. I suck at spelling. Inane is not spelled correctly. I don't think so. I don't think it has two N's in it. I think it only has one N. But I'll leave it up to you to check my spelling. Do you understand? Sequence S has 300 terms. Sequence S has 300 terms. Question simply is, what is the 293rd? Very simple, very straightforward. The first statement tells us that 298th term is negative 616. Now, had they simply stopped at that, simply telling us that 298th term is negative 616, that would not have been enough for us to figure out what the 293rd term is. But they give you more information. In addition to that, they tell us that each term after the first term, and they tell us, and each term after the first term is 2 less than the preceding one. Is 2 less than the preceding one. That's plenty. That is enough information. So each one is 2 less than the preceding one. So if we know the 298th term, of course we can work backward and figure out what 293rd is going to be. That is enough. So here we go, A, D, B, C, E. Since the first statement by itself works, answer cannot be B, C, or E. It's got to be either A or a D. Now again, the part that I'm about to do, we will not do it in the exam. This is only for out of curiosity. So here we go. This is 298th term. This is 97th, 96th, 95th, 94th, and 93rd. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. We're going to have to subtract 10. Whatever this number is, we're going to have to subtract 10. It's going to be negative 606. The 293rd term is negative 606. Again, this was a waste of time. We will not do this in the real exam. It is not necessary. Nobody's asking us what the 293rd term is. Nobody's asking us that part. They are simply asking us, does this first statement provide enough information to be able to figure out this 293rd term, to which the answer is either yes or no. In either case, that's all we need to know here, whether it's a yes or a no. Answer is yes, therefore we cross out B, C, and E. If the answer had been no to that question, we would have crossed out A and D. That's all. Let's look at second statement. The second statement tells us that the first term is 22, negative 22. That's all. The second statement tells us that the first term is negative 22. A big freaking deal. That's not going to tell us anything. Just knowing that the first term is negative 22, how is that going to help us figure out the 293rd term in a sequence of 300 terms? This is insane. This is silly. The answer is A. The answer is A. Only the first statement by itself is enough. Alright? I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.